Hi, I wanted to share this with everyone because I thought it was kind of amazing. I know I have a lot of friends out there who are going vegan. And I found this recipe and I wanted to share it because I thought this is just such a good recipe. So when you try making something that somebody else cooks on the internet, you never know how it's going to go. But since it's pretty basic ingredients and basic cooking, I'm going to give it a shot because I just don't know how you could mess it up. I know my mom made this for us when we were kids, but she made it a lot different and super heavy creams and butters. And so this is a healthier version. So here you go. I'm going to start off by letting you know what you need. You can make this for around $10, which breaks down to about $2 a serving. So if you're trying to budget, this is a great thing to have. Hopefully you can see that. So you're going to need about 10 large potatoes, medium to large. 2 large leeks. Now I bought 1 leek and I think this is plenty. So I would say 1 leek. 1 leek is about $3 and you get all of this. You have to really wash it really, really well because there's a lot of dirt and grime and bugs in there. So you got to tear it apart and really, really, really clean it. And really make sure you cut those edges off because there's a lot of stuff in there. You're going to need, if you want to add the bacon, which is optional, which I am not doing because this is vegan, but for anyone who wants to add that, you can. You could do faux bacon. So instead of using meat, use a meat substitute, which would work great in this recipe. So that's why I have that there, even though it says bacon. Use a faux meat or scrap it. I'm scrapping it. You're going to need 7 cups of chicken broth, 2 cloves of garlic, 1/4 cup of olive oil, and 1/2 cup of either pecorino, it's probably not spelled right, or Asiago cheese, or your favorite cheese, but I would recommend using one of the two. All we're going to do is clean this, chop this up into, little bite-sized kind of pieces, and you're going to clean your potatoes. Now, I prefer skin on. I think there's a lot of nutrients in the skin. Some people prefer not, so it's your call. We're just going to clean the potatoes, cut them up into quarters. You cut them in half, cut them in half, cut them in half again. So bite-sized pieces again. And make sure that your pieces are evenly cut so that they cook evenly. You're only going to need 2 cloves of garlic, which you're going to cut in half and then put it directly into the pan with oil. If you're not going to blend this, I would highly recommend mincing the garlic, and I like to roast it a little bit first and then mince it and then add it. I also like to brown my potatoes. I like them to have the skin on and kind of roast them and brown them and then add them because it adds that a little bit extra depth and flavor. So hopefully you've seen this and you can go back and look at that. But all you're going to do is chop this into pieces, chop those into pieces, put the garlic in there, and you have your chicken broth. The chicken broth is 7 cups of chicken broth. Put the chicken broth in the pan, heat it up. In a separate pan with oil, we're going to put the garlic in there. We're going to put the potatoes in there, let everything brown. Then we're going to add the leeks, and we're going to let that kind of cook and brown a little bit. Then we're going to add the hot broth to the pan and let that cook for let it bring it to a boil, and then turn it down from a boil, and then let it cook on medium high for about 40 to 45 minutes, and that's it, and you're done. Put it in a bowl, chop up some, you can see there, fresh parsley, and you have your cheese. Do your grated cheese on the, put it in a bowl, and then put your parsley and the cheese on top. I would not add the cheese to the soup itself. Do it on top as a garnish. That way you use a lot less and the flavor is bold and it's right there and it's fresh. That's it. That's it. So you've got about 15-20 minutes of prep time, 45 minutes of cooking. Bing, bang, boom. You're ready to go. So I don't edit. I don't know how to edit. So you can see I've got everything here. So I'm going to go ahead and make everything, and then I'm going to go ahead and do a part 2 where I'm going to show the soup at the end and let you know how it turned out. And I'm going to be honest, if it's not good, I'm going to say I did something wrong because it's not good. And if it's really good, you're going to know about that too. And I was thinking about adding onion, but then I realized this basically is like an onion. So I'm not going to add any onion because you already have it there. So you don't need to add any kind of extra onion. All right. I hope you enjoy this recipe. If you're on a budget financially, this is perfect. If you're vegan, this is perfect. If you're trying to eat healthier, perfect.